for the 12th time. That's right, 12 weeks straight. We didn't miss a beat. 12 episodes later, Trash Takes is back. I'm your host. It's Coach. It's the real Mr. 83. I'm here with my co-host, Al Hill, sensation_Al, but there's an X where the O should be. Yeah, it's been crazy. We have not missed a beat. 12 weeks have gone by. We have not missed a single opportunity to put an episode out because, like I said, as I say every week, we've got millions and millions, thousands and thousands watching, millions and millions listening, just tuning in week by week to hear our trash takes. And we may have a few more this time around because there's some confusing stuff. I mean, we're in the heart of the baseball season, it's going to be a continued theme for the next 87,000 weeks of our lives. But it's been a pretty good time. I don't think either one of us are complaining in our current states with our teams. Mets and Yankees kind of killing it.
Yeah.
But it's a little weird. We're going to tap into it. It's not just straight cut and dry of our teams are great, everybody else is trash. So we're going to get into that a little bit. We're obviously going to get into Cash or Trash that I actually want you to start off with. I know you have some crazy good ones this week.
Oh, of course, always.
And as always, I want to also chime in, sprinkle in there for my lovable, loyal New York Knicks fans. We are just living large right now. We rattled off a great win against the Spurs. We're finishing off the season now, and we're still in, how do they say it? We control our own destiny, where we could finish in the 4th seed. We got to kind of win out, took care of one of the big teams. And I'm just loving what I'm seeing. RJ Barrett, Julius Randle. It's a shame I probably won't ever afford a ticket in my lifetime, especially when they're really good to go in like during playoffs. But that has to be an electric atmosphere, and I can't wait. But with that, I'm going to pass it over to you. Say what you got to say, and see if you can lead us off with.
Hell yeah! I mean, obviously, yeah, you're right, Knicks. There's another do a Cash or Trash, yeah, but. There's always there's been the thing with the Knicks where free agents won't go there because they've been garbage, right? So now you think that this is it? Like Julius Randle was the move, and now they have a winning season. You think I have quite honestly no clue who's a free agent next year, but you think all of a sudden now players are starting to think they're playing winning basketball. We get to go bring the Mecca back to. We're coming back to New York. Now you think these guys start to sign contracts here, or you think this is it? Is this the turnaround?
Al, that is the funniest thing that you were actually asking me this. I was going to ask you this exact same question. I just decided not to. I was like, yeah, you know what? Let me not get into it. Not dive into the whole basketball thing. It's fine, whatever. I was literally going to ask you verbatim, pretty much almost to the word, the exact same question, saying, hey, we know the notorious bullshit with the Knicks, right? Mm-hmm. Every year we think so-and-so's coming, or people should be coming to the Mecca, to the big New York market. They're free agents. They're staring us right in the face, and Dolan can't get it done, or whoever's the GM at the time, the front office can't get it done. They go elsewhere. Oh, nobody wants to play for the Knicks. I was going to kick right over to you and say, hey, listen, does this playoff run, especially doing it pretty much with just Julius Randle, some vets that didn't have success, too much success elsewhere, and a young core with a new head coach, does that not scream, kind of a new era for the Knicks, and tell the free agents around the league, hey, that's a desirable place, especially the way Thibs is running things. That's a desirable place to play. This ain't the same old Knicks.
That's what it seems like to me. And I mean, I haven't watched that many Knicks games. I'm sure I'll watch the playoff series, of course. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like it's finally that time. I mean, the Knicks, they had the Melo era, and even then they couldn't get people to come. But it feels different this time. It feels like they're building it the right way. It just feels right, and it feels like this is the time we're gonna add maybe like a Steph Curry or a Klay Thompson hits free agency, and that's one of the guys that comes and becomes the hero of the Knicks, takes us to the promised land.
Listen, there's a lot of names out there, like potential futures, but it all depends on opt-outs and all that stuff, because everyone's got these weird, stuff in their contract. And then it depends on trades, because the Knicks have a lot of picks in the future. They have talent that's on the roster, young talent that maybe they're okay to move on with, and some other team will pick up on it that might be resetting. There's a bunch of different ways they can get people on the team, and the potential names out there in the near future or future in general. is Kawhi Leonard, if he doesn't stay in LA, Jimmy Butler, Bradley Beal out of Washington. In my opinion, I think Russell Westbrook has to become part of the conversation again and have all the haters just please shut up. The dude is Mr. Triple-Double in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
And I never want to hear a foul thing said about the man ever again. If you do, you're just someone who follows narratives and doesn't watch a game of basketball. And it's very simple. It's just telling on yourself. That's all it is. You just rat yourself out. That's fine. The bottom line is that there is a short list or list in general of players we could get. And the great thing about the way the Knicks are set up, yes, Julius Randle is a star in my eyes. He became a star this year. But there is still room for a top dog to come in. And I think with Carmelo Anthony back in the day, now it isn't back in the day now, Al. It's almost 10 years ago. Back in the day, there wasn't room for another big dog. Maybe a co-star or help for him, which we didn't get.
Yeah, it was Maurice Stoudemire and nobody else.
Yeah, there was no room for the big elite dog to come in, especially with Melo and stuff like that. There is room for that on this team, which makes it even more appealing. So, such exciting stuff. Dude, my goodness. I just can't. It's feelings I really forgot even exist. I really, as far as the Knicks go, so it's really fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest basketball fan, but I will always, I'll hold it. I'm, born and raised in New York. I'm a Knicks fan. Through the good and the bad, I'm not going to take the bad as personally because, like I said, I'm not as big a basketball fan. But even as an outsider who doesn't watch as much basketball, who hasn't watched as much basketball, I can feel the difference with this team.
Yeah,
and that's that's how you could as little as I pay attention to basketball, I can tell that this is like a different version of the Knicks, and it feels good.
Yeah, listen,
but
I send this to so many people, and I think you and I have agreed on this in the past. But no matter where our fandoms are, I'm a way bigger Met fan than anything, than Giants, and it's Knicks and all that stuff. You're a big, huge Jet fan, Yankee fan, the whole nine. Right? Well, you and I can both agree, if you had to pick one championship to bring to New York that, not that we would be the most happy about, but that would literally heal the hearts of all New Yorkers and elevate Manhattan and Long Island and upstate New York to a higher existence, it would be the New York Knicks. And that's just pure and simple.
Yep. Oh yeah. No, I'm sure you're the same way. Like, I personally, the Jets win a Super Bowl would be, I'm calling out of work for a week and a half. I'm using all my PTO. Yeah. I'm partying for a week straight, like that kind of thing. I'll be the tears, the whole nine.
Yeah.
Then and for New York, the Knicks championship is going to mean the most.
For everybody. No matter who you are.
Yeah. Let's get into a little cash and trash here. Ready?
Dude, get us started.
Sorry, let's try and run them down pretty quick. So cash or trash, first one, because I'm seeing a whole lot of this. The Bucks will repeat this year as Super Bowl champions. Cash or trash?
Trash. I'm going trash. I personally believe they... All right, let me not say that. They had certainly the talent to pull off what they pulled off, but there were so many circumstances, as it's always has been in Tom Brady's career, that led to their, I guess, dominance, or I should just say their run. I never felt like they dominated anybody until the Kansas City, lost everybody on the offensive line. So I'm going to say trash. I don't have them as the team to do it. I don't care what they've done. I think they'll have the Super Bowl hangover, actually. So trash.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think it's trash as well, especially so obviously they retained everybody. They won the Super Bowl last year, so they're the champions. They're a very good team, very talented. It's football. Any given Sunday, whoever shows up is going to win that game. And I think it's really difficult to repeat for the performance they had last year. There were a lot of veterans playing towards the end of their prime that played really well last season. I can't imagine they play as well this season, as a whole. And even a slight degradation of some of those players could have resulted in a loss last year. Apparently, Tom Brady had a knee surgery in the offseason recently. Yeah, I didn't know that either until today.
I didn't know that.
That was kind of serious. I'm sure it's they'll tell you, it's arthroscopic, but they said it was like a pretty major, arthroscopic, knee cleanup thing.
Dude,
so he's not 50. Touching the feet. Yeah, but at some point he's got to go downhill. No. Hopefully,
I can't say those words anymore.
That's fair. Yeah, the guy's like 65.
What I will say is honestly their path in the regular season that might actually be easier. I think the division's easier for them this year.
New Orleans, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So But other than that, no, I don't see them being the big bad dogs in the playoffs.
Yeah,
In
I
the
think.
NFC.
I mean, there's a lot of teams. They weren't far and away the best team last year, and there's a lot of teams. I mean, like I said, any given Sunday, the Chiefs could come out and put up 65 on the scoreboard. And
No,
it's over.
but that's exactly what I expect.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs went around like, oh, wait, our offensive line was an issue in the Super Bowl? Watch this. Yep. And they eliminated any doubt in that department real quick in free agency. So I got them.
Yeah. So number 2, Ohtani will win the MVP this year. Cash or trash?
I got cash. I'm not even saying, again, it's percentage. I'm not saying it's guaranteed because we're talking about the MVP and down in October and we're in May.
Your favorite right now.
But that's my guy right now because if he keeps clicking on two sides of the ball of pitching in and hitting the cover off the ball, we're not talking about some dudes, like I told you, batting 280, okay? He continues to do what he does. Yes, it's over. Cash, he's the MVP.
Yeah, he's not, hitting well for a pitcher, and he's just above them. And the guy's hitting 280. He's leading the league in home runs. Like, he's doing it all. He's pitching to like a 1.9 or something. Guy's wild right now.
Wild.
So that leads me to number 3. Dodgers are in the World Series hangover. Cash or trash? They finally got over the hump. Kershaw got his ring. And now all of a sudden they're in 3rd in the division. They're 20-17. Seems kind of lackluster. Giants are just doing whatever they're doing. It's an odd year, so I don't understand how it's happening. Shouldn't be. It's impossible. Even year Giants.
Right.
Cash or trash? Dodgers are in the World Series hangover right now.
Well, it's got to be trash out because they didn't actually win a real World Series.
There you go. It didn't actually count.
Exactly. It's trash. They're in the Disneyland Mickey Mouse hangover, okay? They're in the Mickey Mouse clubhouse hangover, okay? They had a little too fun in Disneyland, and they haven't really recovered yet. It's starting to affect the hitting, the pitching. I'm sorry. You can't have a hangover for something that wasn't real. So, they're just having actual hangovers.
There you go.
They're in a tough stretch. Look, the Dodgers have the talent to get through any of just the struggles we talked about with our teams. They have the talent to get out of any struggle, but right now they look pretty bad. They don't look as bad as our teams look when we are bad, if that makes sense. But they're bad right now. They're bad.
Yeah. Speaking of my team. Number 4, the AL East will be the most competitive division all season. Cash or trash? I don't know if you've taken a look at any standings right now.
I got it. Let me go cash. And I'm going to say both of our divisions, the East in general, are going to be the most competitive in the bigs. And that's not a slight to, I guess. Actually, it is a slight to. Fuck the other divisions. Yeah, the other divisions suck. All right. The other divisions suck. I think the Easts in general are going to be the most competitive, and maybe yours edges our out by a little bit. So I'll go cash on this one. But between Mets, Braves, and Philly doesn't have an excuse to be bad ever. And the Nationals are literally the real reigning World Series champions from 2019. That's our division. With the ever getting better Marlins team, too, because they did well last year in the fake season. So that's going to be competitive. And the look at the Blue Jays. The Boston is shocking everybody by having the best offense I've ever seen since the Mariners in 2000, whatever it was, won. And you have you guys and the Rays.
It's just the bottom feeding Orioles that are, a piece of shits there. Every other team in the AL East is right there. I mean, it's 3 games between the Red Sox and the 4th place Rays right now.
Right, and let's not even just take the snapshot now. In general, between Boston, kind of proving, I think, the talent's there from an offensive standpoint, and we know what the Rays and the Yankees are going to be, and we know the moves the Blue Jays made. I think we're still having the same conversation in August and September. Yeah. Because of the back and forth. So, you're right.
I think it's going to be a really fun race.
And right behind it is the NL East.
I pretty much agree with that. Every other division kind of has 1 or 2 teams that are right at the top. You look at the NL East, and right now the Braves are kind of struggling at 17-20. But that's a team that has so much talent there that you expect that they're going to turn it around. So there's going to be most likely at least 3 teams vying for that top spot. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun division there. I guess the NL West too, with the Giants, the Padres, and the Dodgers. But fuck that.
I don't. I said that. I think the Dodgers come back and run with it.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers suck. You're right. They're.
No. Good. That's a good.
All right, so I'm now 5. I'm gonna get straight into it because I'm a Garrett Cole fan.
Oh,
he's my man. He's leading the Yankees in ERA by a landslide. He's striking everybody out. He's doing all the things he was supposed to do to come to New York and be the ace. So let's look at the AL ERA. Who's at the top? John Means is a cheater. Cash or trash?
John Means is a cheater. So you mean the Pine Tar?
Whatever he's doing, he's cheating.
Listen. Some people are trying to say they go to the cap. I'm going to say trash. He's not a cheater. Some of these guys go through these years. Revisit this in a few weeks. I'm going to start really diving into him, watching every single move he makes.
I saw somebody, I think it was my boss actually, that sent me a TikTok of some guy that reviews every John Means start, and every start he's doing something where he like does something weird where he goes to his glove in a certain way, like a certain part of the glove.
That's straight up hard.
And now he started to try and hide it where he like actually actively twists away from the camera when he goes to the gloves, so you can't see
like
it.
He's not in the middle of the fucking field, like with every eye in the universe on him.
Yeah.
He just figures he blew it because he played the Mets and he's on a national viewership there. He thinks he gets away with it in Baltimore, and but if you play the Yankees or the Mets, the eye's on you, buddy. Listen, he could be. Let me go trash right now, give him the benefit of the doubt. I like the stories where pitchers has become really good. But the evidence might be moving in your favor there.
Yeah, no, I mean, quite honestly, I just brought it up because, fuck the Orioles, basically. I feel like there's a lot of guys in the league that are using some kind of illegal substance, and I don't really care. Like, I feel like they should probably loosen up the rules on that a little bit. I don't know how you feel about that personally. Like, you want to use pine tar. As long as you're not doctoring the ball, if you're just using it for grip and it's not,
there's no such thing as that. The
thing is, fucking everybody already does it. So what does it matter?
These guys are not using pine tar so that their fastball doesn't slip out of their hand and hurt somebody, okay? They don't give two shits about the guy standing in the box. They use the pine tar to get better grip, have better movement, better control, obviously, but also when you check their breaking ball and their spin rate skyrockets through Saturn, and they have the highest spin rate since the greatest curveball of all time, and they're like, well, I want to use pine tar to keep everyone safe. And these batters, too, which not many people say this, but there was a few in the past that would say, like, well, I'd rather them not hit me. Gone are the days of that. Because no batter who's striking out 250 times a year because these breaking balls are the most absurd pitches they've ever seen is happy about this. Come on. It's stupid. Oh, it's for grip. Get out of the league. Okay? You can't grip a baseball. You played in every type of weather your whole life. Get out.
Yeah, that's fair. Right. I understand your side. Just, part of it is I'm sure Garrett Cole's probably also cheating, so I just want him to be okay.
Yeah. The guy that was controlling 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, all of a sudden Houston's like, well, I had to do it so I could control my fat. Yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah, dude. All right. That's my 5. What you got for me, man? Let's run it.
Well, I like
let's
yours.
run
That
it
was
down.
good. That was good. But I got some fun ones. I'm going to kick into stuff you'll have some knowledge on because I'm going Yankees right off the bat.
Go.
I'll just give it to you straight then. Yankees make a deadline move for a pitcher over a position player. Cash or trash?
Well, so I'm gonna go ahead and say cash. I don't think they break the bank for like a huge. They might not break the bank for a huge name. They have all the assets in the world to do so, and they got a little guy named Jason Dominguez in the minor leagues, who they're assuming is going to be fucking Mike Trout 2.0. I'm hearing about Jason Dominguez since the kid was fucking 14.
Yeah.
Kid just figured out how to hold a baseball bat, and they're like, "Fuck it, we just signed this guy!" And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I won't see this guy till I'm 40.
Well, he's actually 25.
No, I'm pretty sure he's 18.
Yeah, he is.
Dude, it's like fucking goddamn. Like, Yeah, so they definitely don't need a position player. Obviously, I mean, they got guys everywhere. I mean, they're putting. They sent somebody down the other day. They called back Miguel Andujar. Luke Voigt came back again. So they got guys all over the place. Utility guys that could be everyday starters at some point. I think at some point, quite honestly, they're talking up Jason Dominguez this whole time. I think at some point they make a move and some team bites on like Clint Frazier and some pick in the future and sends us, one of their pitchers that they just can't be bothered to keep anymore because they're trash.
Scherzer's the big target, apparently.
You think he's still on the Nats?
Still in the Nats, and he's going to get paid until like 2040. But
hey,
he's mind. We'll see.
Something like that for like a package of like a young Clint Frazier and some other guys could work, and then the Yankees bring up Jason Dominguez and eventually and some shit. I don't know.
Can't believe y'all are already letting Clint Frazier go.
Dude, I'm not about it, but every other person is all for just trashing his whole stock. The Clint Frazier stock is just he's
not hitting.
Plummeting.
Not hitting right.
He is, yeah, he's not hitting. But that's definitely cash. If they're gonna make a big splash in free agency, or in at the deadline, it's gonna be a pitcher. There's no doubt.
I agree.
Even though their pitching has gotten a lot better recently.
Speaking of hitting or Clint not hitting, baseball's not hitting. Offense around the league is actually is a little weird right now.
Yeah.
People are still
besides the fucking Red Sox.
Besides the Red Sox, they're doing everything you could ever ask for. But this is a weird one. There's no right answer here. Baseball will make a switch back to the contact hitters. Cash or trash?
I think we've been through the contact hitting era. There are guys that hit. There was a big power swing with the steroid era, but now it's all power. So I don't think I'll say trash because we don't go back to, it's just all about contact. That's all that matters. But there's going to come a time, some team is going to find the right recipe, whether it's, like a balance of like three, like I think I brought it up the last episode where like maybe you go 1-2 are contact hitters and like 3 is like an Aaron Judge and then 4 or 5 and you throw it as like a Giancarlo Stanton and 6 hole or something
like the classic old school.
Yep. And you add maybe you go like 3 really strong power hitters and like 6 more contact guys, something like that. But there's got to be some kind of ratio in your lineup that makes it significantly better. I don't think it's about having 9 guys that are going to hit 300.
Right.
I mean, but because those home runs do make a huge difference. If you 9 Derek Jeters might not win a World Series, but 6 Derek Jeters and 3 Aaron Judges you're going to do some damage, right?
Or a Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano, A-Rod, and Mark Teixeira.
Of course, yeah. But I mean, if you look at those guys, it fits the mold, right? I mean, Derek Jeter and Robinson Cano are super high contact guys, and A-Rod and Teixeira are more power guys, but they're also going to hit for a decent average. It fit that mold at the time, and they the 3-man the playoff rotation they won a chip, bro.
Yeah, listen, if you're ever going to win, you always need a balance. I don't care what era we're in. That totally makes sense.
I think at some point a lot of the teams find that right balance, and they just keep filling the holes that when players leave with other players that we lost a contact guy. I'm going to add another this guy that looks like he's more of a slap hitter or whatever. Yeah,
you would think some teams overdo it, and they're like, I'm going to replace him with a high strikeout, high power guy.
That's exactly what I'm saying, dude.
We'll see where it goes. I really hope it does because I don't like the direction it's going. 3. Kind of already answered this one, but we'll see. New York Mets will run away with the NL East this year. They're on now. We're on a 7-game win streak. We're in first. We've been in first for a little bit. So consider that in your answer.
So read it back from top.
They'll run away with the NL East.
See, this is rough because Philly's a damn good team, and I fully expect the Braves to turn around. Then again, Acuna got hurt again the other day. I don't know if he's okay or not, actually.
That's a shame.
Let's go with cash. I'm right. I'm here for it, dude. I saw something today where people were talking about the hitting coach. They fired Chili Davis. I saw something about I think Incarcerated Bob tweeted something, and I'm pretty sure was that you? Did you retweet it? Maybe. Oh, he blocked you.
Yeah, he blocked.
That's good. He tweeted something along the lines of, or he like quote tweeted somebody that tweeted something on one of his, replied to one of his tweets, and it was about the firing of Chili Davis. And runners in scoring position with Chili Davis as a hitting coach, they were hitting like 160, and since he's been fired, they're hitting like 340 with runners in scoring position.
That is a real stat.
They said something. They asked him something like, "Do you think this is because of Chili Davis?" I think he replied something along of, "I think it might have something to do with Chili Davis." But Chili Davis wasn't, the reason they were hitting 170. He's like a victim of circumstance where it looks worse because they got hot as soon as he got fired also. So it's a mix, obviously it's a mix of the two. But I think, I don't think they go on, a 7-game win streak, every other week or whatever. But, if they start winning, 3 in a row, like, I expect them to really start to heat up here. Their hitting is looking way better than it was. And even if they level out, they're going to level out and be, way more towards the positive side than they were towards, where they were at the beginning of the season.
That's why I think it was worth asking. They took a 2-0 lead on your Rays over there, too.
Yeah, fuck them.
What's it called? No, but I like the cash on that because I agree. So this 1 minute, we got to
have the means to do it. The John means.
We got to throw a change up. A little too much baseball. The NFC East is the NFL, by the way. The NFC East is the Giants' division to lose this year. Cash or trash?
Trash.
Trash.
No hesitation. You like how fast that one was?
Wow. No hesitation.
No hesitation. You heard how fast that was? That was the quickest answer I gave.
Pretty quick. And I guess who'd you replace them with in your answer?
So, this might be my fantasy stocks talking here.
Can't wait
but
for this one.
I think it's the Cowboys division to lose.
All right, that's not outrageous.
That offense was out of this world the first couple weeks with Dak. Guy fucking, snapped his leg, gone forever. Alex Smith. And they went way downhill real fast. But that offense was, untouchable. Dak Prescott was throwing for 500 yards a game for a while there.
Yeah, and losing sometimes.
2 weeks after his injury, he was still top 5 in passing yards. Like, the guy was fucking torching everyone. And I have, very large CD Lamb stocks this season. So, I fully expect them to, come back and have that offense clicking like that again. And that is fucking terrifying. Washington, I don't see getting I think Ryan Fitzpatrick makes them better. I don't think he makes them a shit ton better. But those two teams are... I think it's probably Dallas's division to lose. Washington and the Giants right behind. Fuck Philadelphia is where I'm at right now.
It's funny, you didn't mention the other side of the football when talking about the Cowboys, who had a historically bad defense. But you're right, they look like world beaters on offense with Dak. We'll see if he comes back healthy. I just think the Giants did enough this free agency to go on top of that defense to make them the team.
I think they're probably a playoff team. I don't think it's their division to lose. Like I think the Cowboys should be slight favorites in the division with the Giants and the Reds or the football team slightly behind them.
The team, yeah. That's fair. And then now back to baseball. I know I threw you off kilter just for one of them, but we're back to baseball.
Yeah,
Giancarlo Stanton, not Aaron Judge, is the Yankees' best player. Consider everything. Cash or trash?
Trash.
What's that?
Trash.
Trash.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is, as far as I'm concerned, at the very least right now, their best hitter. And Aaron Judge, wasn't... he had something towards the beginning of the season, wasn't quite himself. He got 2 home runs tonight already.
That's tonight. Let's not.
So, At some point, I feel like Aaron Judge will get hot and his numbers will look better. Giancarlo Stanton might cool off a little bit. His numbers will look worse. It'll even out. They'll be generally the same hitter. Aaron Judge is an infinitely better defender. It's not remotely close.
That is true.
Like, Aaron, there's a reason Giancarlo Stanton almost never plays the field.
Yeah.
And it's because we have him for his bat, not his defense. Aaron Judge is out in the field. He's gunning people out all over the place. He's a fucking mutant throwing the ball from the fucking wall to wherever he wants on the field at any point. He's got great reach. I don't know if he doesn't look fast, but he's got pretty good range. I guess it's the way he fucking strides or some shit. Yeah, I don't know what, but the defense just makes up for it. I can't give Stanton the nod over
I get it.
Judge as the best player.
I get it. He's one. Listen, I use that. The reason why I want to throw in the mix, and even if I'm inclined to agree with you, is Stanton led your team in home runs and RBIs in 2018 in his first year because Judge was hurt. Then in this past October, in the limited games he played, he was really good. And then in this little first stretch, even though their stats are similar, when Judge seemed absent or going through this crazy strikeout streak and all that stuff, Stanton has been tearing the cover off the ball. And then as soon as we speak, now Stanton's dealing with quad tightness. Aaron Judge is back hitting the cover off the ball, and you guys are just weird. You guys are weird, and it's just strange.
If everybody gets hot at the same time at any point, the Yankees are going to win like 17 in a row or some fucking nonsense. Yeah. But that'll probably never happen.
Well, I picked them that's why whenever we question these things in the past, I said, listen, they have the talent on paper. Should not be an issue. But that's all 5 for me. Those were good ones. And I think they segue pretty good because the one thing we wanted to touch upon is we're really happy what's going on with our baseball teams, even currently right now. But I got to be honest with you, they're a little confusing, both of them. Maybe yours a little bit right now, more confusing than mine, but mine just a week ago, even while we were holding on to first place, and I know it had to do with our division being bad, but we looked terrible. And I think we looked kind of mediocre in this 7-game stretch that we've had. Some clutch hits for sure, definitely. Some good pitching outings, absolutely. But overall, it did not look like a team that was rattling off a 7-game win streak.
Yeah, no.
And for you guys, same thing.
Yeah, for the Mets, my boss told me today there's some nonsense like apparently you guys called up some guy and he's like 0 for 2 on the season with 2 walk-off sacrifices or some shit. Yeah.
Dude, it's amazing.
What a world.
He hasn't hit a ball. He has not hit a ball a total of 100 feet yet. With all of his balls he put in play, he has not hit a total of 100 feet. He has 2 walk-offs.
There you go. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, fuck it, dude. Listen, you're gonna take the wins how you can get them. I guess if those are working, they're working. Fuck
every
it.
time.
Whatever is working is working. Just keep it going. Obviously, the Mets can pitch. That was never in question coming into the season. But now all of a sudden they're starting to hit, and they went on this little bit of a streak, right?
Yeah, but you know what the thing is? So I won't consider. This is so funny. So we broke it down last episode. We named it our episode after the whole situation with Jeff McNeil and Lindor, right? Ever since then, Lindor's been tearing the cover off the ball. It sparked a fire in him. He's been hitting, or at least he's just been doing better. I shouldn't say he's tearing the cover off the ball because I know what Lindor can do. McNeil, shortly after that, bombing the ball over the place, hitting the ball over the place, and he was batting 117 before that incident. Then he got hurt, but he's back tonight. So they really started hitting, but I still don't consider Francisco Lindor in Francisco Lindor mode, right? Mm-hmm. I don't consider Pete Alonso in big bad Basham power mode yet. Conforto is, by the way, he's playing elite right field defense. Elite right field defense. I just want to throw that out there, which he's never had really. He's played mediocre. But from the bat side, even if he's starting to come around now, he's not even close to what Michael Conforto can be. And with all that considered, you consider Noah Syndergaard not being here, Cookie Carrasco not being here, Seth Lugo not being here, J.D. Davis hurt, and a couple other people like Yorme, but they're backup players. But all this stuff, and to be rattling off 7 wins straight without a full firing offense and certainly a damaged bullpen and a rotation, that's where I'm confused. I'm saying we're not even out of this yet, this little darker area I consider it from gameplay. And we're rattling off wins, which is so encouraging because you're like, well, what does it look like when we're back? That's great. And then I flip over and I'm like, wait a minute. I kind of see the same shit with the Yankees. The Yankees, besides these last 2 runs of the rotation, you're right. And I call it 1.5. Maybe Kluber had a couple starts in there, but it felt like it was Garrett Cole in the rotation, And then everybody else, and that leaves 4 mediocre to bad days in that rotation.
Real
not,
bad,
not more good than bad. You had more bad than good. And, I mean, bullpen-wise, I didn't feel you would know better than me, but didn't feel too safe outside of Aroldis Chapman, who looks like the best closer ever.
Nah, they were gross. Don't.
Oh, they were good. Okay, I was making
sure. So this is something. I mean, this will tell you how good the rest of the bullpen was, because you very clearly didn't fully grasp how good the bullpen was. The Yankees were number 1 in the league in ERA during that stretch where it was Garrett Cole and everybody else. That's how good their bullpen ERA was.
Oh, that's great.
The other day, Michael King gave up 3 runs, and that was the first runs of the season, or like 2 runs or something. Those are the first runs of the season that he gave up in 11 appearances, over 11 innings. It was him. It was him, and Aroldis Chapman had 0 ERAs. Aroldis Chapman still has a fucking 0 ERA. Yeah. Chad Green's throwing like a 1.06 or some shit. Like there were like 3 or 4 guys in their bullpen that are fucking untouchable right now. It's wild. Yeah. But it was, a lot of it didn't matter because we weren't hitting and we were giving up 6 in 4 innings. So.
Well, it's not even just that. The biggest thing for the Mets, it was pitiful. It really was, the offense. And listen, I'm not just ready to turn around and say we're back, but it was really bad. It was historically bad. We had one game we left 17 runners on base in scoring position. Historic. It's never happened before in the history of time. So for the Mets, So it still has its ups and downs. But for the Yankees, they scream a team to me saying, "Oh, you don't hit, you don't win," straight up. And right now, they're not a team that's tearing the cover off the ball. You're still struggling on the offensive side of the plate, and you're rattling off your wins. You're 7-3 in your last 10, just like the Mets are 8-2 in their last 10, and you guys are still not hitting. And I didn't think that that's a formula. I know it's a 10-game stretch, but I didn't think that's a formula that can lead to Yankee wins. I thought it's straight up, you win, you hit, or you lose, But they're rattling off wins beyond my comprehension a little bit.
The last 10 or so games where they've gone on this stretch where, I'm looking at it now, they're 7-3 in their last 10.
Yeah, you're about to be 8-2.
9-3 in their last 12, it looks like. Really, really good stretch from them. The last 2-ish times through the rotation, so the last 10 games, the rest of their pitchers have started to come around. Domingo Germán obviously missed an entire season. He was unbelievable the year before that. Missed the whole season because of the dumb shit. He's an idiot. He's not a good person, but I want him to pitch well because I'm a Yankee fan. He looks like he's kind of shaking rust off. He looks pretty good now. Jordan Montgomery, who is a personal favorite of mine, looks pretty good. Kluber looked pretty good the last couple starts. Fucking Jameson Taillon needs to fucking figure it out. That guy is very clearly our 5th starter right now. Good lord, I don't know what he's doing on the mound.
Yeah. I warned you episode 1. Man. I warned you episode 1 that to me, Kluber and Taillon was an old school Metsy moves. Like, hey, just trust us, it'll work out great. This guy hasn't touched the mound in 47 years. But listen, if it works out, if Kluber turns around and says, "Nah, screw you, Andrew," I know what I'm doing. I'm good.
Kluber's been a pretty decent the last couple outings. He's not outstanding on the season. 3.06 ERA. He brought it down pretty well. Jordan Montgomery, I wish he was like a 4, and then somebody else was a 5. So if even if what you were saying earlier about going after a pitcher at the deadline, you don't even need to add, if you add a Scherzer, fuck yeah, right? Of course, everybody else just bumps down a spot, no problem. Whatever it is, fucking Garrett Cole, Max Scherzer at the top of the rotation, you're ecstatic. There's no question about that. Yeah. But you don't even need to have one of those guys. If you have a guy like a true number 2 or a true number 3, and you're talking about a guy who's throwing a 3-ish ERA, a little bit over 3, now all of a sudden you're talking about Cole, with the current numbers, right? Cole with a 1.3, Kluber with a 3, whoever else with a 3, whoever they bring in with a 3, Jordan Montgomery with a 3.5, and if Domingo Germán continues to pitch the way he's pitched the last 2 outings, he brings it down to a 3.5, something like that. Suddenly you have a good rotation. The bullpen's never been the problem, and you can win these games with low scoring games. God, you start to fucking hit, and probably gonna win 45 in a row.
Listen, the Cashman's tried this in the past. It didn't work out for you. You guys tried going out with the non-big cheese type move and getting.
I'm telling you, I'll sell the fucking farm for a guy like Scherzer. I don't give a fuck.
No, I know, but listen, you have a Scherzer, that's for sure. That's definitely your target. But another thing is, there's no such thing as a true 2, because Good teams don't move a true two because they're good and they're cruising. They shouldn't do that. A true two is a number one on a bad team, if that makes sense. A true two is a number one on a bad team. So John Means is a perfect example, right? They're a team that makes perfect sense when they say, well, you know what? We ain't doing nothing. John Means is clearly our ace. He'd be the second best pitcher on the Yankees. I'm not saying the Orioles will make a trade. I'm just using an example. He'd be the second best pitcher on the Yankees. The Yankees should do what they got to do to get a quote-unquote A John Means. That becomes your true two. You don't want to settle for the J.A. Haps of the world like Cashman did in the past when you guys are right on the cusp of being a World Series team. I know why they did it. He had great numbers against Boston, and Boston was the team to beat in your division at the time. But it really didn't work out for you. And I think anytime you're setting the bar low enough saying, we only need a 3, we only need a 4, or a mediocre 2 and stuff because you're giving up assets for something that doesn't take you elite over the top. The only time moves you should make at the deadline when you're a team like that is hey, we're doing this, not like the fallback option type thing. So I hear what you're saying. Bottom line, we're pretty much agreeing. It's just I really feel like if they're going to target somebody, go target somebody or don't do anything. This is so funny about the Mets is that last week we were like, I'm pretty sure it was last week when I asked you, or maybe the week before, when I was like, hey, cash your trash about Chili Davis. Listen, here's a little bit of advice for you and your team if you want to kick it over to the Yankee clubhouse. If things start going south, fire somebody. It works.
Yeah.
Just get rid of your hitting coach.
Bro,
how
about we get fucking Davy Garcia back on the mound? Like, can I get... I can't figure out.
No, you're going to bring up... We have David Garcia, but you have another young dude. Who's the other young guy that's coming up? Maybe it was David Garcia.
I don't know, dude. We gotta get that guy some more starts. Fucking Jamison Tyon's 5.5 ERA ain't cutting it. He's not the future of the team anyway. Like, give me a guy like Davy Garcia. Fucking throw him in there. We've been talking about Davy Garcia for a couple years.
He's got to perform though.
Dude, he's got a 4.5 ERA, and Jamison Tyon has a 5.4. So he's been better than Jamison Tyon, and he's younger than Jamison Tyon. So what's the fucking? How much are we paying Tyon? It can't be that much. Where we'd be like, it's not the issue where we're paying the starting quarterback $67 million. We gotta start him this season. Fuck it. If it's our number 5, Jamison Tyon, fucking throw in whoever. If the guy works out, then we got our guy for the future.
Look, I think it comes down to this. I think what we're talking about leads back to some good, positive stuff for the both of us, and might support my little claim before and you actually gave it cash too, of Mets running away with the NL East, and now might support or give you some sort of confidence that the Yankees getting real good. If we are rattling off the wins that we're rattling off, given the circumstances that we're in, what does it look like when we really get into groove? Dude. And both teams are fully healthy, or both teams are firing on the cylinders that we know they're supposed to. Mm-hmm. What does it look like then?
Other teams should be terrified, dude. If the Yankee starters can regularly go 6 and give up 2, the other team is probably going to score 2 runs in that game. So
even your hitting, Matt. When LeMahieu starts driving in the runs, he's always notoriously driving on. And Judge, if he starts doing the 2 home run shit before the 4th.
Yup, dude. I was gonna say when we start playing those games where we're up 2-0 in the first because LeMahieu singled and Judge hit a home run right after. Like, good God, when we start getting into those games, like a fucking. You have to assume that in a game like that, right? If we start off one of those games on the road, right? Where, all right, it's 2-0 in the first. LeMahieu singled, Aaron Judge hit a home run, and then you end up with 3 outs. Your 3, 4, 5 hitters get out, and then who steps on the mound? It's Garrett Cole. Oh shit, the game's already over. I don't even gonna watch the rest of the game. We got Garrett Cole pitching to a 1.3. It's already 2-0 in the first. This fucking game's probably over already. Like we're gonna start rattling off games like that where it's just like, shit, fucking Yankees pitchers are on point. We still Aroldis Chapman's throwing that fucking change up. We don't know what the fuck's happening anymore. How do we win? And it's just the answer is you just don't. The Yankees just beat the shit out of you. Get fucked.
I'm gonna give you a player just to give you the heads up of how the Mets are succeeding given some wacky or some unfortunate circumstances. We signed James McCann.
Yeah, I heard.
He's in our lineup every day.
I heard a lot about him getting cut and fuck that guy. Basically, is that what's going on?
Go look at that. Take the 5 seconds.
How bad?
Take 5 seconds. Just go ahead, give a little James McCann batting stats. Let's see what
It's
who
that
we signed.
bad, huh?
Yeah, it is that bad.
I said I don't know why people were so ecstatic about James McCann. He had one good season.
Shouldn't be hitting like this.
He had one good season.
Can he have a bad season? Because what you're looking up right now, I don't know if you brought it up, is not bad. It's not mediocre. It's not, man, he's struggling. It's hot garbo.
James McCann batting 200 with a negative .4 WAR.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 1 homer, 7 RBIs.
And how's that OPS looking? Sub 6?
Sub
600.
Sub 5.
Ah!
496 OPS.
Woo!
Yeah, that ain't good.
Slugging percentages. We have whole slugging percentages higher than his OPS.
Yeah, so, Pete Alonso's slugging 463. James McCann's OPS is 496.
Amazing.
So
we're rattling off wins with that in the lineup. So yeah, dude, I think it turns around. It's really positive for both of us. Go New York, go New York, go.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah, I'm down, bro. Let me tell you, I was watching. I've been hearing. So my buddy is big Elijah Moore fan coming out of college, and he said, just to continue with the New York train we're running right now. Mm-hmm. He was looking at highlights of Zach Wilson as a completely unbiased source. He's a Patriots fan, so definitely no Jets fan bias there. Gotcha. He's a big Elijah Moore guy. He drafted Elijah Moore in our Dynasty League this year, just ahead of me because he fucking hates me and I hate him. He was talking to me today and he was like, I was watching Elijah Moore highlights and Michael Carter highlights, and fucking Zach Wilson looks real good. And I was like, yeah. Let me get some of that. Let me get some Zach Wilson hype from a not Jets fan. I love
that was the validation. That was the validation you needed from the Patriots fan to tell you that Zach Wilson is going to be a stud.
Fuck yeah, bro! Give me that.
Look, I was just thinking about it today or yesterday.
Oh man,
I forget when it was. I was thinking about it. He's going to come out hot. He's going to come out looking good. In his first couple games, it's not going to be one of the. He doesn't seem like I don't know. I just have the idea that
I just feel like it's the polar opposite of what Sam had, right? So Sam had that season at USC where he was unbelievable, right? They had that big Rose Bowl win, I think, over somebody I don't even know. I don't care really. It was at the Stanford game where he threw some fucking nutty it was triple, quadruple, quintuple overtime.
You're asking the wrong. Hombre.
I'm pretty sure there was some fucking nonsensical game where USC beat Stanford in a Rose Bowl on some bullshit, and that was okay, Sam Darnold has officially arrived. He's that dude. And then he came in the next season, everybody was like, yeah, Sam Darnold's very clearly the best quarterback. And then he fumbled 27 times or some fucking bullshit. And everybody was kind of like, maybe not. And then the Jets took him, and Jets fans, we were kind of hyping ourselves up. We were like, fuck yeah, bro. Look at what Sam Darnold did the year before. And everybody was like, yeah, but he fumbled 19 times. And we were like, yeah, but look what he did the year before. we were kind of ignoring the last season he had in college. And it feels like with Zach Wilson, it's the exact opposite, right? The year before, he was, This year, he progressed. Whereas Sam in college, his last season regressed. He very clearly progressed. He made progression in his last season of college, and he's coming into infinitely better team with an infinitely better coach than Sam ever had. So the situation for him is way, way, way better. No questions asked.
The situation's better, and you know what? And while I think there's pressure for Zach Wilson to be the guy, at the same time, he's coming off of complete failure the last 3 years. So it's if he does anything, it's going to be looked at as oh, thank goodness, Zach Wilson. This guy he throws one touchdown, you guys are heading to the city to prepare for a parade. So I don't know if that helps because it's like he's looked as the savior.
Well, that and his career can't possibly start any worse than Sam Darnold's did.
So there you go.
Sam Darnold came into the league through one pass across the field and it was a pick six. So it is quite literally impossible for him to have a worse start to his career than Sam Darnold did.
That's right.
First play.
Listen, it's good to be excited for that stuff. I'm just very excited for the Giants because I feel like they have a unit ready to go. And I think Daniel Jones will put a lot of haters to rest. I think Saquon Barkley will put a lot of haters to rest. And amongst the other players, they're on offense and defense. JoJo's included on the coach, but
hell yeah.
Listen, I can't. I'm like all over the place, and I'm all over the place in good ways. I'm excited about my baseball team. I'm excited about my basketball team, and I'm excited about my football team. I don't know the last time I could say that honestly, all three in a row like that. So
yeah,
that's fun, dude. That is fun, and I hope everyone listening is feeling the same. Unless you're not a fan of my team.
I mean, So I don't know if you've paid any attention. You want to try and wrap it up with a little schedule breakdown? Have you looked at the Giants schedule at all? Schedules obviously from the NFL were released.
I'm not gonna go. Actually, yeah, I can probably do it really quick.
So I think I don't know if you saw. I'm pretty sure I tweeted it. I don't know anymore. I don't know what I tweet half the time, right? So pretty sure I tweeted it. Look through the Jets schedule. I've already gone through a bunch of the schedule and given my personal opinion on them. So I could do a Jets breakdown real quick. I think through 7 weeks, it looks like the Jets could. It's entirely possible they start 6-1. That being said, this is what I tweeted. It's entirely possible the Jets start 6-1. So that being said, I have them pegged for 2-5.
Gotcha.
So it's I don't know if you've looked at the Giants schedule at all. The Jets schedule is it's pretty easy at the beginning of the season. They're gonna get fucked at the end of the season. It's gonna be really rough.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give my Jets rundown. Carolina, winnable game. I'll give it to them.
You give it to the Jets.
I'll give it to the Jets.
Ooh, Sam Darnold revenge game.
I'll give it to the Jets. Versus New England. That's the Jets at home. So I'll give that one to the Jets. Jets always split the Patriots series. So I'll give that to the Jets as well. At Denver. That one's going to be rough. That's probably a loss. Tennessee. That's a loss. Atlanta in London. Fucking stupid.
Anything can happen there.
So fucking stupid. I think Atlanta is just fucking dumb. So that's another. So I'll give what I think about the game potentially, and then my personal. So Carolina winnable game. I think the Jets win that one. Like I said, I think they win the New England game as well. I think they lose to Denver. Tennessee's gonna fucking beat them by like 60. Derrick Henry will break the rushing record. Atlanta, that game's in London. Who the fuck knows? Winnable game. I think the Jets probably lose by. At New England, Jets probably lose that as well. So at that point, 2-4, but a couple of really close games in there. Versus Cincinnati, that's going to be a real fun one. That's Zach Wilson versus Bionic Leg Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow 2.0. The Revenge, the Terminator, he's back. Jets probably win that at home. That team, bad. Yeah, Carl Lawson revenge game. He's gonna make sure Joe Burrow doesn't play any more games after that. That's gonna be rough. This is where the schedule takes a really rough turn. So Jets at this point, they'll probably be about 3-4 through 7, with a bunch of really close games in there and those losses. At Indianapolis, loss. Home versus Buffalo, loss. Home versus Miami, loss. At Houston, they probably win this because God knows what's going on with Houston.
We don't know what the hell's going on there.
So that's I think 4-7. Versus Philadelphia, since they're at home, I'm gonna give that to the Jets. That's 5-7. Versus New Orleans, God knows what's going on with that team. I'm gonna go ahead and give New Orleans the nod on that one, but I mean, if they look really bad because of the lack of Drew Brees, could be a winnable game for the Jets. So 5-8. At Miami, loss. 5-9. Jacksonville, I think the Jets can win this game. It's at home. I think the Jets win this game. So 6-9. Versus Tampa, we ain't fucking winning. 6-10. at the Bills to finish off the season. Give me 6-11 for the Jets.
6-11.
6-11.
I think it's entirely possible. There's no way you start off 6-1 ever in our lifetime. No joke. It won't happen in the first 7 weeks in our lifetime for the Jets. But yeah, 6-11 is totally possible.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I tweeted, bro. Those first 7 games is entirely possible that we win 6 of those, but I know we fucking won't.
So I'm gonna make this a little less excruciating. I'm gonna give you the who we beat, who we don't. Through no deciding how the games fall out, we're gonna split all division series. So he was 3-3 right off the bat. Although I believe that we sweep one of the Washington or Eagles. Actually, no. Give me a sweep. Give me a sweep out of the two. So we go 4-2 in the division. So 4-2 in the division. We beat the Falcons.
That's sweeping the Eagles?
That's sweeping the Eagles or sweeping the Skins.
Yeah, fuck the Eagles. I don't think you should sweep the Skins.
We swept them the last 2 years in a row.
Skins defense is pretty rough, but yeah.
Okay, 4-2 in the division. We beat the Saints. They don't have a quarterback, in my opinion. We beat the Broncos. We lose to the Dolphins. We beat the Chargers. We beat the Bears. We beat the Raiders. We lose to the Chiefs. Lose to the Bucks. Lose to the Rams. And beat the Panthers. That'll give us a 10-7 record. Thank you for the playoffs.
That sounds about right. But 10-7, welcome to the playoffs. 10-6, Miami missed the playoffs. So let's tone that down a little bit, bud.
I'm saying that it might win our division. Cowboys defense is bad.
I know it's bad. You're not wrong. All right. Well, there you go. Schedules released for the NFL. There's our predictions. Jets go 6-11. Zach Wilson looks good. Next season they go 11-6 and win the Super Bowl. There you go.
Of course.
It's easy. Jets Giants 2022-23 season. That's a free trip to the Super Bowl for us.
Yeah. Next week I hope we're continuing the train of glory for our teams. And
absolutely.
Should be a lot of fun. Yeah.
See ya.